Welcome back. It's time now for Media Watch. I'm joined by James Creedon here in the studio. Good evening to you, James.
Evening, Tom.
Now, we're going to start with news that 3 Kurdish activists were shot dead in Paris. What's been the reaction online to that?
Well, straight away, Tom, you saw early this morning, it happened around 2 a.m. Paris time, that there were photos being uploaded onto social media by Kurdish people who were gathering around the 10th arrondissement of Paris, where there is a big Kurdish community, and indeed where the site of the shooting took place at the Information Centre of Kurdistan, Rue Lafayette, in the centre of Paris. So this was in the middle of the night at a Kurdish cultural centre nearby. Also lots of tweets in the afternoon today, and indeed the morning, of a lot of the Kurdish community in France gathering upset about those 3 shootings. Now what's interesting is those photos are under the hashtag, if I scroll up to the top, Turkish state terrorism. So you can see that there's a certain degree of bias there, and many in the Kurdish community are pointing the finger of blame at the Turkish state for this shooting. Of course, the facts remain extremely vague for now. We don't know who was behind this shooting at all. And what has grabbed a lot of the attention in the media as well is the name of one of the victims, Sakin Kanziz. I may have mispronounced that. She's a co-founder of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, and so indeed she was one of the 3. Apparently silencers were used on the guns. Some editorialists in Turkey are saying, look, this was a professional job, all right, and it could have been within the PKK just as much as the PKK, or that is the Kurdish Workers' Party, just as much as Kurdish people are blaming the state. So who knows for now who is behind it. You can see here on today's Zaman, which is a Turkish English language paper, that it has been the top story there all day as well. This website might be worth checking out. You can Google that, TwitRip, one word, TwitRip Kurdistan, which has grouped together all of the articles across the world's media. It was the second story in the New York Times all day, for example. So you have that, those various articles, plus social media elements all together on one page.
And lots of theories, obviously,
Yes.
as you said, circulating as to who is behind that. Now to North Korea, and it has an official Twitter account, we understand. Who does the regime follow on the social network?
Right. Well, the account was created back in 2010. 11,000 followers, so a lot of people curious as to what they have to say, which is usually negative things about South Korea. But they only follow 3 people, right? Now, this rather obscure individual in Vietnam, another North Korean account, and Jimmy Dushku. Now, who is Jimmy Dushku? He's just a young guy trying to make the world a better place. He's a 25-year-old from Texas, right? The media has been very curious as to who he is, one of only 3 people in the world. He set up his own blue-chip company at quite a young age, quite a capitalist, innovative type of guy. You wouldn't expect North Korea to be that interested in somebody with capitalist credentials like that. And so people have been very curious as to who he is. Gizmodo picked up on Mother Jones, which was the US website that initially uncovered the story, saying that they followed this goofy American dude, and I think we have pictures. Let's roll some pictures of him dancing around to a Coldplay song. So here he is doing a bit of not quite air guitar but air piano, and to a Coldplay song. So the point being, lots of decision makers, lots of heavy hitters on social media. I'm not sure Jimmy Dushku is one of them, and but North Korea seems to be a fan of his. Now, the actual real story is that Jimmy Dushku, sent a message to the official account saying, hey, hello, and then a beautiful friendship was born.
Wow. Well, he may be trying to compose there a dance and a song to rival South Korea's Gangnam Style. Looks like what he could be drafted in for.
Just before we move on, as we're on this story, take a look at Korea Today. This is another North Korean medium, as opposed to their Twitter official Twitter page. More and better socks for the people. Now, this is one of their top stories the last day or two. Kim Jong-un, who visited a sock factory or a hosiery factory. So I think they might need to work on their external communications, whether it be on Twitter or on that Korea Today website.
But socks, very important. Now, 2 stories here in France this week that, of course, a degree of shock.
Yes, that's right. Now, just quite quickly to explain these 2 stories. One, it concerned a young girl of only 5 years of age. Right, here it is on the Sud-Ouest website, Southwest publication. She was arrested at the school canteen because there was an unpaid amount of money owed by her parents to the tune of 170 euros. But the police came. She thought that she was in serious trouble and she was going to be taken to prison. That's perhaps not the best way to deal with a 5-year-old. And only a day or 2 earlier, an elderly woman, 94 years of age, was kicked out of her retirement home during the Christmas New Year's period because of an unpaid bill there as well. She was literally, her bags were packed for her and she was put in an ambulance and told off with you now. So a lot of people shocked by that treatment of an elderly person in France and a very young French citizen, perhaps not the best way.
Next time a waiter is rude to me in Paris, I'll get some comfort from the fact that if I was
You're not
94
alone.
or 5 years old, there wouldn't be any better treatment for me. Thank you very
Exactly.
much indeed,
Thanks, Tom.
James Creedon. That was Media Watch.